You afraid of who you really are? Forced in therapy, all these hoes. How to do contours, I like my big nose. Let my belly hang over the Holy Ghost. Sharp as a thorn, but pretty like a rose.
Peace and love, family. It's your girl Karina. Welcome back to the channel. I am bringing you this video, and I want you to consider this video as like an index. Okay, all of the topics that I have in this video, I wanted to make something more extensive, more bigger than what it is, but we have to be authentic right now. It's an age of authenticity, and so I just have to bring to you what I know and then allow you to make the connections, or you to branch off from this video and then move forward in more research, and maybe even bringing it back to this video, and we can have a discussion down in the comments about these concepts that I'm going to bring today. So again, this video is like an index, but it begins with the book of names. This is where my mind, my antennas have been taking me, because I have been decoding Lovecraft country since episode 7, and there is this chase in the show about the book of names. Now, I made a connection that the book of names could be considered the Bible. That's one symbology of the book of names, because the Bible itself is a book of names and perspectives from those names. But I want to bring to you a different concept, a different branch of that symbology of the book of names, from the fact that your name is a book. I learned this from a very incredibly wise sistar. Her name is Kamisha McDowell. She's also known as Black Fire, and she has an incredible teaching. And she's the one who introduced me to etymology and gave me a reading and talks about the fact that my name was a book, and the fact that everybody's name is a book in hindsight, because when you look at the origins of your name, the rabbit hole goes so deep that you may need a blank book and an actual, like your actual book for your name, because your name has so many branches and different origins, right? So I'm going to get to everything that was said in the title, but I wanted to point that out first to you, because it all comes back to us. It all comes back to you with everything that I'm saying in this video. So your name is a book. And if your name is a book, then those names around you are a book as well. And that is why I'm here today, to give you the connections of the possible origins and the simple breakdowns of different names, so that we could actually go and run off and make some new discoveries and explorations. I want to first start with Jaguar Wright, because she's the one who brought me to wanting to make this video, because she has been a big integral key player in the current status of chaos that is currently happening. She has been exposing specifically the music industry and the hip-hop, R&B, soul artists in the music industry, and all the things that have been happening behind the scenes, right? Her being like an intern, starting off as an intern and working her way through, and sharing the things that she has gone through and experienced. And I did already a video on her, so that's going to link up here. But what I want to do is to look at her name in this video, because her name is actually Jacqueline. Okay? Now, Jaguar Wright, I did discuss the connection of her names in the video that I previously did. But when we look at her actual name, Jacqueline, the first thing that I see is the Jack. Okay? And in cartomancy, the playing cards actually can be used as a way to do reading. It's a form of divination as well. And the Jack cards are actually really important. They withhold wisdom, but they're also kind of like left players. They kind of like distort the harmony of the deck, the Jack cards. So the Jack energy is not easily controlled. That's what I mean when I say distort. The Jack energy is not something that is going to always be obedient. And people who have Jack somewhere in their name, typically will show maybe some sort of obedience, but then will go in their own way or take a left turn. You know, just like how the J is like a hook. Like it takes a different turn than maybe the way that you thought. So this is very unpredictable energy. And also, I connect her name, Jacqueline, Jack, to the whole thing that happened with John Legend and his wife, because they lost a baby, right? And I didn't really go into too much detail because it's such a sensitive subject and not too many people are really on the concepts of ritual, right? So I don't really know what the truth is behind that story. But the thing that I wanted to bring to your attention, is the fact that they said that they wanted to name the baby Jack, okay? And then when we go back into Lovecraft, specifically the latest episode 9, Hippolyta, she has to jack herself into the machine, the time machine, right, in order to maintain the power so that they could travel in time. So I wanted to make the connections of Jaguar Wright, specifically with her name Jacqueline, and the concept of Jack, the root stem of the word Jack, in which it is not only something that is like against the grain, that you can't predict it, but it's also a concept in tapping in. And like when you jack yourself into something, for instance, when you take your phone and you put it into the jack, right, to charge or whatever like that. So that whole concept is of charging. So I wanted to show to you the patterns are all around us. So that word Jack is coming with Jaguar Wright. It's coming with Jack, the lost baby of John Legend, and it's also coming from Lovecraft. All of those terms have been really prominent, really dominant in the frequencies of the matrix within the past 2.5, 3 weeks. So going back to you and how to create a book for your name, that's how you can start. You can break your name down from the root stems of your name to see, like, you know, what are the little mini words within your name. And that's one way to do it. So I'm bringing always back to you because I encourage all of us to begin to write our own book for our name. And that's one way you can use etymology, right? So the next thing that you can consider is the fact that, going back to Jaguar Wright, she actually spoke about Beyonce and Beyonce's name. Beyonce's age. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about Beyonce's name. Beyonce's age. Really, really important. And I almost got a little lost into it because I started looking up Gabrielle Union and all of these things like this. I was looking for the surface stuff, but this is not what I do on this channel. On this channel, I look into the rabbit hole. I go behind the scenes. I look for the speculative nature of what could be happening. And I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with this other goddess. Her name is Ashira. She had a video she dropped maybe last year, a couple of years ago, where she talked about Beyonce and the concept of dropping stories that have kind of like a deeper meaning, basically. So there was this story where Beyonce's drummer had said that she's a witch and she's practicing witchcraft. And a lot of people took it for surface area. They're welcome to do so because nobody knows what the real truth is. But so I'm sorry if you guys are seeing breaks in the video. I'm at the park with my daughter, so I have to stop ever so often just to make sure you can hear what I'm saying. So Beyonce's drummer dropped the story about her, and Ashira broke it down in a more metaphysical, esoteric interpretation. That reminded me that Jaguar Wright talking about Beyonce's age brought to me the idea of also breaking down the esoteric meaning behind the Beyonce age. Okay, this is where we're going to get a little deep. So I'm going to turn the camera down because I'm pushing my daughter. So I'm still talking, but I'm going to be looking forward. Just let you guys know. Because I just want to get these ideas out of my brain before I lose them. These messages out, okay? So Beyonce's age. What is Beyonce's age? In order to understand Beyonce's age, we have to look at Beyonce's name. Okay? So when you look at her name, Beyonce, There's a B as in BE as in being, right? And also yond. Okay, so Beyonce's name means beyond. Beyond what? That's the real question here. You also see B as in BEY, Bay as in BAE as in lover, like your bae, right? But also it's in BEY as in the Moorish term for bae. So maybe it's beyond the lover, or maybe it's beyond the Moors, okay? But also in her name is Yonce, which is also Once, like ONCE, which is 11, which makes me think of her video 711, because in her video 711, she evokes the Kali energy. So we've discussed B, beyond, 11, connections to 711, which evokes the Kali energy. So what is Kali? Kali is the dark mother goddess, okay? Kali is the mother of creation and time, but also considered a destruction energy, which means creation and time can be created, but it also can be destroyed, okay? So when going back to talking about Jaguar and Beyonce's real age, are we talking about, hold on, stay with me here, because I know this video is as chaotic as 2020 is right now. I'm in the middle of the street right now. But when Jaguar is talking about Beyonce's age, right, is she actually saying that the Kali age, right, the Kali age is actually what is being confused and misconstrued? And if that is the case, then does it mean that we have begun the Kali age or ending the Kali age? It's my theory that it may be towards its end. But you guys have seen the constant patterns of Kali and the goddess Kali in so many patterns leading up to 2020, but also in 2020. So like your girl Shakira was doing Kali. The Rock, he does Kali. He sticks out his tongue because Kali's symbol is with the tongue sticking out. Beyonce did show a little bit of it, right? There's this whole concept and symbology that has been bringing out the Kali age, and it's been even more apparent now, okay? Now, they say that the Kali age is actually the time when food is at its worst, its cheapest, that animals are being slaughtered and killed, right? And the concept of hunger is present and strong, okay? I think a lot of people may think we're entering into it, but I'm going to tell you why I think that we are actually finishing it, or we are in the middle of it, or it's been going on to some degree. Why? Because famine, the word famine, F-A-M-I-N-E, means to be hungry, right? But out of the word famine is also the word fame. And when you think about the times that we have been living in, specifically since mid 1900s to now, celebrities and fame has been on the highest rise, right? So fame is also connected to famine, and it's a symbology of it in a lot of ways. So I feel like the famine connection to the Kali, the age of Kali, shows that we have probably been going through it, okay? Which means that we are in the end of the age, okay? Now let's go into Kamala's name, Kamala Harris, because this is another way you can break down a name, okay? You can turn the letters around and discover the different words that are in the letter, in the word, different words that are in the one word, okay? All right, so also words, this is what I learned from Kamisha, all words are sound first, right? The Bible says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, right? So meaning that everything was created out of sound and speaking the word, and then words came after, like the letters and everything. Language is secondary to sound. So when you're breaking down a name, when you're breaking down your name, you also want to sound it out. So what does Kamala sound like? Naturally, it's Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. I just did that a few times. It just sounds like Kabbalah to me. Okay? That's one index word for everyone to look up. But another one is that Kamala, when you turn the letters around, it's Kalima. Kamala, Kalima. Kamala, Kalima. And Kalima is the symbol of Kali, is the name for Kali. Kalima, the dark mother. Kali Ma. Okay? What is Kamala's last name? Harris. Turn those letters around. Harris. Har. Here. Here. Is. Here. Harris. Har. Is. Here. Is here. Kali Ma is here. Yes. So with that being said, Kali Ma is here. Kamala Harris. Now, I want everyone to look up the Kali Yuga, because that's the actual term for the age of Kali. Okay? The age of Kali is called the Kali Yuga. Just like we have 4 seasons, there's 4 yugas or yogas. All right? A lot of the time in Western practices, we don't look deep enough into the meaning and origin of words, because there's a lot of people who practice yoga but don't understand its origins. And yoga and the physical workout of yoga is actually connected to the movement of the stars and the movement of time. Okay, so the Kali Yuga is the age of Kali that we're in, and I recommend for everybody to go and look that up. And these are the book of names. And this video is random, but really the intention is that, as you saw how I broke down these names, I encourage you to break down your name. Black car. So I encourage you all to break down your name, try the different ways that you saw that I did it in this video, and take a little notebook and start breaking your name down, okay? Create your own book. All right, y'all. Peace and love.